This is my road, let it roll. Pack my dreams in a beat up leather case, left the dust of that suffocating place. They said a girl like me should stay in line, but I'd rather lose their map than lose my mind. Tune the radio to a station playing wild and free. Windows down, smelling like the pine trees. 500 miles and I'm just getting started. Say goodbye to the heavy-hearted. Oh, nobody's holding the reins tonight. I'm chasing the edge of the morning light. This is my highway, my open sky. I've got the wings and I'm ready to fly. No yellow lines can tie me down. I'm leaving my tracks all over this town. Freedom, freedom, yeah. Now they call me an outlaw, call me a breeze, shaking the leaves right off of the trees. Ain't no speed limits on the choices I make, with every single risk that I happily take. Got a heart like an engine, loud and true, writing my own rules. Nothing brand new, just an old soul singing with the modern beat, dusting off the pavement under my feet. This is my highway, my open sky. I've got the wind, can tie me down. I'm leaving my tracks all over this town. Freedom, freedom, yeah, ooh, yeah. And if I get lost in the dark of the night, I know my own stars will show me the light. No more shadows to cover my face. I'm running my pace, I'm winning my race. Freedom, yeah, just let it roll.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Phoenix Talks. I'm your host, Phoenix, and this is where our community comes together to find truth. And I am so glad to be here today. I really appreciate every single one of you that comes and joins in and participates. And bear with me, I'm a little under the weather. I have been trying to shake this for a few days, so go easy on me today. Welcome in every single one of you. Yes, Michelle, I have read the new documents, except for I am still on page 720 of the 1045th page in regards to the experts' witness statements, what they will come to court and testify if they ever went to court, which of course they didn't. Welcome in. You say the new docs confirm Ethan was awake and had defensive wounds. Well, I just read Nodal's. Is it Nodal? How do you say his name? Nodal. I probably am just really beating his name up, but let me go back a little bit. And this was the report analysis by two different people, obviously. And we'll get into all these documents. There's a couple that I really want to talk about tonight. We probably will have 10 or 11 streams just on these new documents, a slew of videos. And it is just wild that we now have a ton of new documents at the time frame that we are. But I just want to say welcome into everybody to Phoenix Talks. This is obviously a stream for commentary, for education and entertainment purposes. Opinions are based on public information and speculation. No accusation, defamation, or legal advice is intended. All persons are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court. And always, viewers should research and decide for themselves what they believe 100%. You know, I'm not trying to feed you a manufactured narrative if you figured that out by now. If you're new to this stream, I really want you to come in with open minds, open hearts, and let's look at the evidence, so to speak. So I know that some of this is going to be shocking. Hey, Caleb, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am here for it. Oh my God. Yeah, you can actually jump on this stream. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up on the way in. If not, just swipe, hit the thumbs, swipe back in. You're not going to miss anything. Sarah, welcome in. You're so excited. Peony, welcome back. We've got some OGs in the house. Just Jackie. Terry, you didn't miss a thing. Nothing yet. Hey, Lulu Bell, welcome in. Terry, I appreciate you being here. Kim, welcome in. Dina, whoop, whoop. I hope you are feeling better. I hope the babies are feeling better. And I love this music too. It's so calming. Lola Garcia, welcome in. Red Cersei, welcome in. Hello, hello. Yep, I've got some fireballs here today. Presumed innocent, except if your name is Brian, Tyler, or Luigi. Wink, wink. All right. So now here's the question. Has anybody been able to go through all of these documents? Drop a 1, because I know people are going through them and picking out what they want, but I wanted to cover this one first. This is the easiest one to debunk, okay? The easiest one to debunk because I believe this narrative was manufactured for circumstantial evidence. We're talking about the Amazon gift card today, folks. All right. So, in plain English, the state amended expert disclosures. What does that mean? The prosecutor is telling the defense, here's the expert witnesses we may use, and here what we reviewed and what we expect them to say. Okay. What we expect them to say. Whoa. Yeah. Here's the big picture. A document is not a verdict. Let me repeat this for you. A document is not a verdict. It's not proof by itself. And this is where a lot of people get hung up on the rules of evidence in court. Now, knowing that I have sat through a massive 6-day trial, almost a 7-year ordeal, almost ending, and understanding the IRE, which is Idaho Rules of Evidence. Yes, I lived in Idaho for quite some time. I left there in 21. But I will say this case has been on my radar, and I've been talking about it for a very long time, kept tons of receipts and sharing that. So when I say that, circumstantial evidence does not equate to proof, I mean it. All right. And if we have any trolls, you're going to get something. If we've got any clowns, you're going to get something. And if we've got a comment that just throws me over the moon, you're going to get the goat. Y'all know what the goat is, right? You are the greatest of all time. Now, yeah, and definitely no clowns. You're going to get the clown. Obviously. If you think you're a clown, no clowning around in here. We've kept our stream pretty clean, pretty safe, and we just want to make sure you guys are safe. So let's get down to it. Has anybody, drop a 1, I take it nobody's been able to get through these documents. I still haven't been able to get through them, and I've been reading them since they came out. Now, I have to apologize first. First thing on my list is to apologize yesterday. I was screaming hot, spicy into the microphone, and I am going to try to refrain today because there's just some topics that are near to my heart. And man, I will tell you, circumstantial evidence pisses me off. A document is not a verdict, it's not proof. It's basically saying that the state is going to testify and evidence summaries they want to present. And one of them happens to be about the Amazon gift card, bank and financial records, ATM activity, and digital searches. We've debunked most of these that the state had. Guys, around this time frame, we looked at S1 last time. Now we get the details, all the information that is in the details. Okay? The little tiny details get broken down into little bitty bits and pieces. And basically, the state is saying that Brian Kohberger used an Amazon account in his name, his email, his Pennsylvania address, and later he used Pullman, Washington address and some payments connected to him and his family members. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he purchased all these items. Now, if you have a family shared account, I know how this works. I used to have a family shared account. I know how purchases work on the back end because, yes, old Phoenix used to work at Amazon for a short time during the holidays, and I was going to be put into a management position, and that didn't happen. So it was just temporary. They knew my skills, my background, and what I could bring to the table, but I didn't like some of the things happening within Amazon. But that's my humble opinion. And so I know what happens on the back end of these purchases. So basically, the state says the account purchased a $130 gift card on March 20th, 2022, which happens to be my birthday. Okay. And this was months before that Brian Kohberger was going to go be a TA or a teaching assistant at Washington State University. So then they say the next day, they don't say that he purchased it. They say the account, because in order for him to purchase it and buy it and have it shipped to his house, they would have to physically see him do that. Now, do you think that anyone saw him do this? No. Nobody was going to get on the stand and say, I saw him purchase this. Was his parents, his sister, his dad? I don't think so. Now, it says that the account used that gift card to buy the KaBar sharpener and a KaBar full-size Marine Corps fighting knife and straight blade. Just like, you know that I'm going to do this, right? You know that I'm going to have something to rebuttal this with because we never got a trial. All right? Remember, the Moscow Police Department purchased a KaBar, a knife sheath, and vegan supplements. Item evidence. Oh, I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think it was 633 off the top of my head. They purchased the same exact thing. And how did they do this? They purchased an Amazon gift card. Item 733. I apologize. And let's get over to it and look at this one. I'm going to show you guys this. You guys know that I'm going for gold here. Here it is. All right. Here's the statement by Dani Vargas. Dani Vargas let the cat out of the bag. And they basically said, we met with the Spokane medical examiner. Not only did they purchase, let me go grab item 733 so you can see the history. Not only did they purchase item 733 in evidence, they took it out of evidence and they took it to the medical examiner. Yes, for a lot of people who do not know this, yes, they did. And here is the proof. Sequence number 208. Let me see if I can make this a little larger for y'all. Yep, busted. right? The ISP. And this is, yeah, we talked about this. A lot of people don't know. So welcome in. Welcome in. Brett Payne says, no, Brett Payne didn't purchase them. He says ISP purchased them. ISP, Amazon purchase items. Remember, we've got to read to understand the facts of this case. We have to. People are going to love bomb you and then stab you in the foot. I'm just saying. WatchGuard, no body cam proven. And he says evidence that was taken into account. 733 was the KaBar. 734 was the sharpener, because the KaBar does come with the knife sheath. And 735 were the vegan supplements. On Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, Detective Gilbertson from ISP provided me with 3 packages, obtaining an order by ordering the items from Amazon. Detective Gilbertson stated he purchased the items in the same fashion used by Kohberger to purchase a KaBar with sheath and KaBar sharpener and a bottle of supplements. You can't make this up, folks. Now, who gave Darren Gilbertson the authority to do this? What was the motive behind it? What do you all think? What do you all think about buying a knife, buying a sheath, and buying a sharpener? It says he purchased the same items in the same fashion used by Kohberger to purchase a KaBar with sheath, KaBar sharpener, and a bottle of supplements. Now, remember, Kohberger was going to Washington. He liked to hike, and his mom made the recommendation, make sure that you go out there and you have something to protect yourself. Well, you can carry a knife. You can carry pepper spray, right? Those things are legal if you have to look up your own state's legalities in regards to those items. You should know your local law. Now, it was done to confuse the public. Hey, KCAS girl. It was done to confuse the public, Lulu Bell says. Probably so much so they can put, well, at least the jury, at least to confuse the jury. I see a lot of that shenanigans going on, allegedly. Because we did hear about it in a hearing when we all were like, what? They got the knife? When Hitler said, are you going to put the knife on display? We were all like, what? What knife? This knife. I photographed, Payne says, each of the packages and their content along with the order paperwork for Detective Gilbertson that he provided. Covering their behind, says Kim, but showing their incompetency and lack of integrity. Yeah, MSN confused everyone. So their packages, inside these packages contain 1 KaBar straight fighting knife with leather USM sheath. Now, he doesn't say the size of this knife, guys, and they don't even give the part number that was ordered yet. And the sharpener and the bottle of vegan supplements. I attached all photos to this case and booked all of the items into evidence. And that, my friends, was item 733 that the ISP purchased and gave to Moscow Police Department. Who knows what their motive or reasoning was, but they did it. So then, obviously, like I said, they do take this knife and they go and they have an autopsy performed. And Dani Vargas takes it out of evidence right here, and that would be supplement 210. She takes it out, takes it to Spokane, is at the autopsy. And they take item 733 out of evidence. Remember, they put it in evidence. They have to take it out and clock it back in. So they take it out of evidence from the lockbox and they take it to Spokane. She takes it to Spokane. And then they basically ask Dr. Singh, we went over this before, and she says, I want to not quote exactly what she says, but she says pretty much that this could be, not is, but could be could be. So that leaves it open to interpretation. Was there more than one knife? Possibly. She says she showed how it matched the shape of the knife blade, having the single sharp edge, and remember, one square edge on the other. Now remember, we talked about a sharp edge and a square edge, and what would that look like? So I've already pointed out all the knives that would have a sharp edge on one side and a square edge on the other. And if you don't remember that, go back a couple of streams, and let me just pull this up real quick. Let me see if I have it. I don't think I have it. Shoot. No, I don't have it on hand. I would have to get out of what I'm doing. I don't want to do that yet. All right. So sharp edge, and you can go a square on the other, a point on one side, and then the sharp. There's two different angles, right, that she points out here. And in my humble opinion, I don't know why they would purchase this, put it on for display. I think it's a show, right? Then she takes it back and locks it back into evidence. And it was in evidence, in the evidence folder. And those are the only two things that you're going to learn about this KaBar from Moscow Police Department. They never were able to recover the knife. In my humble opinion, that's setting up BK. Very possible. Very possible. Yes, ISP did purchase the KaBar. Absolutely well documented. And it's amazing how well documented they did this KaBar, but not very many other things in this case. All right, so we're going to get back into this thing because then they also say Amazon click activity showed views of KaBar style knives around March 20th to 21st, then shipping progress views the 22nd through the 27th. The state in this document, which I have it right here, let me pull it up for us. The state then says that, guess what? There was click activity on November 15th. Now, November 15th in my huge Excel spreadsheet that's becoming larger after yesterday, there's a lot of things that happen on the 15th, folks. So many things happen on the 15th that maybe I'll just do a screenshot and I'll share it with you guys. Because the 15th, there's a lot of activity happening, right? A lot of interviews, a lot of Sigma Chi interviews, just wild stuff happening around the 15th of November, just 3 days after the murders. And they're saying allegedly the count went to a page related to deleting account activity, which was odd, super odd. So if Brian Kohberger was actually working for an entity out there, I'm just going to say a entity, we don't know who, because he does say in his statement that he was working on some projects with WSU and Pullman. So I'm going to take him at his word that that is truthful. I've not seen anything else untruthful about that, unless Moscow and ISP said he was working with them and set them up. I don't know. That's alleged. But I'm just going to take it for face value in the document report. And then it shows he tried to delete account activity. Then on the 23rd and December 6th, it allegedly reviewed KaBar style knives with sheaths. All right. So the state is trying to show we have Amazon records suggesting this account bought a Kabar knife and a sharpener months before the homicide, months before he went out there, and then tracked the shipping and later looked at deletion account activity and later viewed the Kabar knife sheath pages again. Now, what I will say about this very clearly is, one, being circumstantial evidence, they don't have a video cam, they don't have a witness saying, yes, Brian Kohberger bought this. They don't. All they have is this document that they have made and said right here that he did all X, Y, and Z. That's all they're saying. But associated with that account was also Mary Ann Kohberger, his mom, who encouraged him to perhaps take some type of protection if he was going to be combing the woods and hiking. And this is all the proof they say they have. That's it. They have no witness to say that, yes, he did it. Or they have no witness to say, no, my dad bought it or my mom bought it for me. There's no accountability with this circumstantial evidence, folks. They don't have any digital evidence except for what they've shown. They don't have a computer that it was purchased on. They don't have an account. They don't have hardly anything showing us proof that it was linked other than the billing phone number was clearly out there for everyone to see, the whole world to see, right? And again, that doesn't say that he's the one that bought it. So who bought this knife besides ISP? How many other people bought this knife? Well, I remember going over this, and there was somebody on the list for Cutco in the area that bought right after a sheath and a knife from Cutco, the parent company of KaBar. I sure hope, obviously, this document right here, 56, narrative supplement from MPD. There was tons of people in this area that bought sheaths and knights. Were the receipt. I love it. Good job, Nikki Taylor. This was the Kabar warrant that I think Maori put in. Yeah, Maori sent it in to Cutco Corporation. And remember, the customer service, this is wild in this case. Everyone should know this. The customer service at Cutco, the parent company of Kabar knives, basically told the detectives that somebody else ordered one that was talking on the phone, a male, and it slipped that a sheath was found at the crime scene, and the detectives never told anybody about this at the time. Wild stuff. I wonder who that customer was that bought a knife sheath or knife, because sometimes they don't separate them, right from the company. So this was the warrant with all these people's initials, and some of them might match what we're looking for. You look at the date, at the 17th, somebody bought one. Wild. On the 8th, somebody bought one right before, MG and Pay It, right? I mean, you look at the dates and they coincide with some freaky stuff. On the 14th, somebody in Washington bought one. Coincidence? Maybe. Look before and after the dates of the murders. And I sure hope that they got interviews from every single person on this list. Do you think they did? I wonder. I wonder. Absolutely. And that is one of the things that I talked about before, is the square end of the knife. There had to been well, you'll have to go back and watch the videos about the knives that we shared and what a knife like that would look like. I went into a whole realm of different knives. It could have been a simple Kershaw knife that was taken into evidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence in any homicide case. I agree. Oh, Caleb, that was good. I agree. The following sales were done for another part of the area, and that was in Idaho. McCall, there was JC, and right in Mount Vernon, Washington, there was a JP, right? So you have to look at all these people. Is there a junior after SG? No, but that was one of the ones that I was really interested in. There was an MC also, and SG, there was no junior behind it. Unless, let me just take a peek back. Remember, most of these people that are out in that area have family they could have sent it to, right? A family, a gift, who knows? SG. I don't see an SG. I see an SJR. I don't see. I see a JP in Mount Vernon. And remember, that's where Hunter was from. A JP in Mount Vernon. Mallard City, McCall, Stanwood, Berminton, Seattle. I'm going to do a little homework on this list. MM, Seattle, Monroe, Clarkson, AL. Oh, that's a good one. AL in Washington. Holy moly, guys. Hold on one second. Live. AL. Sela. Hold on one second. That's Yakima County. I would be interested. Lulu's good old buddy, Adam Lauda. That would be very interesting. All of this is alleged. I'm just looking to see if anybody of the Lauda family lives in Sela. I think, sister, maybe? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to do a little bit of digging there. Hold on a second. And you never know on a Phoenix Live. We might get a live dig in a little bit at a time. Oh, that's very interesting. All right. Just lurking at the moment. Just waking from my nap. Wow. I would be shocked if this, right the day after this happens, with the blood and the possible gunshot residue over at 1127, I would not be shocked if this has anything to do with a certain individual. I would not be shocked. Sela, Washington, right here. Wow. I didn't even think about cross-referencing this one. This is wild, folks. That name just keeps popping up everywhere. I'm not the one that's wow. How many, hold on a minute. Let me just take a peek. Lauda. I think I've seen this before. Let me just take a peek. In Sela, Washington. Can't type today. Let's see. Let's just take a peek. Walter, no. Remember, I went down through the whole genealogy of this family. There are some over there. Huh. I don't know if they're related, but there are some over there. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, folks. So, as we're talking about this circumstantial evidence, we're going to go back and we're going to look at this. It doesn't mean that it was for sure, this page 4 is missing, that they were 100% going to show the jury some solid evidence. I think they were doing a dog and pony show. They were going to give it. I was going to work on that list and do magic. All right, Lulu Bell, take it on. That takes it off my plate. So in this document, they were going through and they were basically saying what they were going to say at trial. And the state says that now they're going to produce some financial records. They're going to show yada, yada, yada. And I just think it's a bunch of BS. Because remember, they said that Brian Kohberger started not using his card and started paying things with cash. Well, that's not true either, because he did use his ATM. And they talk about his crypto wallet. They talk about Washington Trust, Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union, which in order to be with a credit union, obviously family has to have some entity with the state, local, federal government, which he does have an account at a credit union, folks. All right. And then they go through all the Kohberger accounts that are linked, and he has PayPal and Venmo, and they're going to summarize and give all this stuff for Ethan and Xana and Maddie and Dylan and Morton, Bethany, and all this other stuff, right? But why were they going not just the victims, right? They were going to also include Bethany and Dylan because they considered they were victims too. And the crime scene has never matched the crime, folks. The crime scene has never matched this crime, in my humble opinion. Drop a 1 if you would agree with me that this crime scene has never matched the narrative sold to us. Yeah. I don't think so. I seriously don't think so. One of the things that I'm going to say too, before we continue on this financial portion, there's not much left. There's really not much left. I mean, they go and they say they have the Amazon records, location of discovery, date discovered in 23. Then they say he went to Dick's and they went to Marshall's and he went to the bank and Ross and Target. And then he bought Under Armour records. I mean, unless he's buying bulletproof vest or something, I mean, that doesn't prove much. Then they've got Venmo records. Was there any connection to Venmo or anything to these kids? No, they say there were no connections. And I see tons of videos this morning. Yeah, nothing linked him to the crime. No physical evidence. How many people out there? You know, that's a great question. How many people? Let me look at the statistics in Idaho. How many people in Idaho own Kabar knives? Is there an estimate? Kabar. It's very popular in Idaho because it's a utility and outdoor peel knife, but the exact number of owners in the state are not known or publicly reported. Make a guesstimate. A guesstimate. Let me see what it says. There is no official public record. Well, folks, there's no official public record. Now, let me ask you a general question in the chat. I'm not going to put it up on a widget or poll. How many people in that neighborhood around 1122, around the college, do you think owned KaBars? Maybe 10 people, 20 people, 50 people? Yeah. How many people in that general area do you think own KaBars? Just a general area. Just a roundabout number. Let's make that 10, 20, 50. I'm going to see if I can get an estimate. Let's see. All right. So we know quite a few people in and around that area have had weapons, right? Yeah, I've got some videos of people around there.
Who's Charlie? Charlie was on the list, enlisted in the forensic documents because they got his DNA. Now, there was no conclusion to about a whole slew of people's DNA. Mysteriously, a fridge broke, but the ISP looks like they did get DNA. That's the ISP, Idaho State Police Forensic Labs. They did get a lot of DNA freely, by the way. These people didn't have a court order. These people were never charged. They just freely gave up their DNA and their fingerprints, which always struck me as odd. Anyways, that's who Charlie is. And Charlie actually lived with Jack Decor and Adam Lauda. I think I said his name right. I know if I got it wrong, you guys will correct me. Anyways, in their house on King Road, they actually found presumptive blood. So they never gave us a conclusion of whose blood that was or who.
Whoops, I have to correct myself. They're allegedly, he didn't live there, but he visited.
Whose DNA blood that was. Never gave us the answer. But what I'm learning little by little, there was some very affluential families that their children were attending this university. And I'm not going to allege corruption, but when you have money, you can make things go away, especially if there's more than 1, 2, 3, or 4 individuals that are very affluential in that area. Yes, folks, can't make it up. That's what it looks like it's becoming.
All right, can't make it up. It's there. Now, either this is truly a cover-up or it's a false story, a manufactured narrative. That's all I'm going to say about this, because as the days go on and the more documents are dropped, it's still not adding up in my book. There's no definitive answer to a lot of this stuff. And I think that's the point to exhaustion. That's the problem. Why is it okay to carry a knife, but Brian can't have a knife, but he can own a firearm? Oh my gosh. Hey, how are you? It's wild. It is absolutely wild. It is a big gun and knife state, and there are a lot of hunters. I mean, if you look at the statistics that I was just able to pull up, oh my gosh, there are quite a few just hunters out there. How many tags? Don't know. Let me just take a peek. Let me just see. This tells me that the amount 302,000. It's all hogwash at this point. Let me just take a peek. 302,000 known hunters that hold paid licenses in Idaho. And that's the U.S. Wild and Fishing Game data. And that was in 2023. Now, mind you, Idaho has had an influx of new people coming from all over the states in the Pacific Northwest and Southern California, Northern California, moving to Idaho because of the hunting and fishing, right? But look at the numbers. There are a few interesting numbers. Paid license are only 301,000. So there are people probably hunting that don't have licenses. Believe me, some of these people get caught. Even anglers get caught. And then it says hunters per 100 residents. That's 15 people to 100. 15 to 100. So in that little populated area of 1122 King Road, right? Think about that. And good old Bill Thompson said there are hundreds of people that are in this area that are hunters, right? Let me look at the aerial. So if we figure out, I don't know if I can get a really good shot. If we figure out how many people live in the, let me look. Let me see if ChatGPT knows. How many people, exactly. How many people live within, let's just say 100 yards to 1122 King Road. That would be walking distance. Just a observation. So high estimate is 128 people. Do you have an aerial view of this? Wow. Okay. Wow, this is wild. Before Fox News. No, I don't want that. How about this one? So let me just go, let me do Google Earth. I'm just curious. I'm going to see how close I can get it to this number. All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. This is wild. Okay, so let's just look at this map. All right, I'm going to share this with you. Let me just screenshot it. It'll be easier. Let's just say within walking distance. Because old Hitler was dead set hard on to say that perpetrators came in a vehicle. But evidence isn't showing that. And another thing, they were all going to get up on stage. Not stage. On the witness stand. That was me. That was all me.
You are the greatest of all time. The drum.
Oh, that was all me, man. Okay, they were going to get up on the jury stand. All these witnesses were basically going to say, yeah, there's no forensic evidence. Nothing matches. It's all the victims. But wait, there is unidentified DNA, but we don't know who that is. There's tons of handprints, but we don't know who they are. There's tons of witnesses, but we don't know. Some of us caught that Freudian slip, right? Stage works. They were going to do Spider-Man meme. Oh my gosh. Catching up. Hey, no talkie before coffee. Welcome in. Yeah. The world is a stage. Okay. So according to the data, this is wild, guys. According to this data off of King and Queen Road area, there isn't an official count how many people were physically within 100 yards of the 1122. But in that area, there's approximately 20 to 35 residential units. Those are these houses all around this area. I don't know if you can see that. All around this area. But in those two buildings right here, the Queen Road and the Whites, there's 4 buildings, 2 that look alike and then 2 that look alike. And let me see if I can get this into this little thing here. This is going to be huge. When you realize the statistics are right in your backyard, dude. All right, let me grab this. Let me see if I can make this larger too. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Oh, that's good. All right, let me see if I can share this one. Window this. Yes, share. All right. Can you all see this? Yeah, you can see it. All right. So let me just see if that will work. All right. So if you can see this little area, let me grab this one. And I'm going to make it in, let me do orange. This little area around here, all right, that's about 100 yards, I would say. About, roughly, estimate. And in this one, this is, X marks the spot. And let me see if I can do red, pink, red. Okay. This is Queen Road Apartments. All right. This is Linda Lane Apartments. And all down here, these are all townhomes. These are multi-dwelling. And obviously we know that these are all multi-dwelling. They're all frat. This is all multi-dwelling. All right. This is a house. That's a house. This is multi-dwelling. And all the red are multi-dwellings. All the green, where I'm going to put, are houses in the area. All right. All the housing. Damn, this is, oh my gosh, you guys, you're not going to believe this. Oh my gosh. All the red is multi-dwelling. All the green are just houses in the area, right? These are just houses, 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 all back here. All back here. Not multi-dwelling, not at all. All right. And I think some of you know where I'm going with this. And I'm going to use the blue for the whites. And I'm going to use the red because it is technically multi-dwelling, right? I'm going to use red and blue. All right, here we go. Now listen to these statistics and remember the colors that you see. All right. Let me just change something real quick before I screenshot this and share it again. This is freaking wild. I would have never thought about this before unless, I don't know why I just thought about it. That's a house. And this is actually, I forgot these two. This is a multi-dwelling house too. All right. That's a multi-dwelling. This is multi-dwelling. This is multi-dwelling. This is multi-dwelling. That is multi-dwelling. Remember, I showed you a video of them fighting back here on this road, this dead end road, right outside that house. That's multi-dwelling. All right. So all the houses in green. Let me just make sure I get this one too, because stats are wild. This is green. That's green, not multi-dwelling. And then the frats are over here on this side. So, all right. I think I got all the houses. All right. Now, let me go ahead and take a screenshot of this. And then I'm going to put this one up on the screen for you so you get a full big picture. Wow. When you break things down, wow. I never would have thought about breaking this down. Jeez. I wonder if anybody else has. All right. Here it comes, guys. Now, so there's approximately 20 to 35 residential units. That's houses. That's what they say, houses. Okay. Now AI is wrong. I'm just going to say that right now. AI is wrong. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I only see 18 houses. Well, maybe 19. And that falls within 100-yard radius. So 19 houses. And the statistics are 100 to 15. Okay, 100 to 15. And then all the other red occupancy, there's anywhere from 2 to 5 residents per house. 2 to 4 residents per apartment. That equals, high estimate, 180 people, folks. 180. 180 people. I'm going to round it up to 200. So there is 30 people estimate in the red zones that have KaBars. Knives on estimate. Now, what do you think about this? On estimate. This is wild. That is within 100 yards, 200 yards at the max, but within 100 yards, just in this red zone, in that orange barrier, in that red zone, there are over, what did I say, 15 to 100? There are over 30 people with KaBars. 30 people in this area with KaBars or knives, equivalent to knives. How many people have we seen in these interviews that they ask them, do you have knives? Have you seen a knife like this before? How many knives do you have? Absolutely. And I just showed some pictures of frats with KaBars. It's not shocking. But if you break it down, there are over 30 people adjacent, within walking distance, and maybe even 1122 had some type of knife, a hunting knife, a killing knife. I'm not talking about a steak knife or dinner knife or a, dull knife. I'm talking about a seriously weapon that would injure people. And that's what it says. At least 30 minimum knives, hunters in that area. I believe it with that area, with the quality of students, with the backgrounds. I believe there are probably about 30 people that had knives in that area. And how many of those drink? How many of those drink? There is this is like a recipe for disaster. A serious recipe for disaster. How many college students ever thought about putting up a security cam? One out of 200 locations. How many other people had security cams? How many other people? I wonder if anybody else had security cams of what happened that night. And why aren't they coming forward if they exist? That's just a general idea of the dangerous situation. How many other people bought from Amazon a knife? They sure went to Big Five and Walmart and all these other places to see how many people bought knives, right? Did we see those records? No. We see a scrawny little spreadsheet, Word document, PDF that basically shows, Kohberger bought this KaBar. Kohberger. Well, where are all the other people's receipts, right? Did they interview anyone else that said, oh, yeah, I got a knife? They took one into evidence, and that was clearly right across the way in the Taylor Apartments, the chicken guy, right? They took chicken guy's knife into evidence. That's the only one I see taken into evidence. Did that mean he had something to do with it? No, but they took his knife into evidence, which we've never seen any testing on that. But one thing I did notice in all these documents very clearly, I'm not ready to talk about that one yet. Hold on. They did a CYA move in these documents, folks. I'm just highlighting them right now. We'll get into them and break them down, but I'm just highlighting the overall documents. All right? Because one thing that I caught real early on is look at what they wrote. ISP, in the bottom of AIR's document, she says, the crime scene response team is not involved in any decisions as to whether evidence or other items are returned to victims and or persons. That they don't make the decision. Somebody higher up does. Where did this evidence go? Where did it go? Yes, Polar Life Force, he did. And he mentioned the clump of hair, Whitcomb mentioned it. I don't remember Turvey mentioned it. Whitcomb mentioned this for sure. And this is on page, this is Nodell's scientific report. I believe this is page 143. Let me just grab my notes. This is another highlight I want to talk about. Was it 143? Let me grab it. Oh, no, 143. And that is on page, this is on the thousands and thousands. 1045. There's 1,045 documents. And one of the main highlights, who answered Ethan's phone at 4 a.m? Did anybody catch that? And why? Why did they never get Ethan's phone records? Oh my gosh. Where are those phone records? This was on my list to talk about too. Where is Ethan's phone records? It says to date. This report was filed 1/23/25. It could be voicemail, but it says, I was unable to complete the set of records for Ethan in the discovery provided to date. I was able to find some different reports that indicate the CDRs for the device were obtained in at least in part. Some analysis was done in regards to common calls. I also was able to find some sort of RTT timing data for this device as well. As a result, this device was not mapped in my analysis. What in the hell are they hiding? Allegedly. What are they trying to hide? They didn't have Ethan's records, the most important records. Common calls is what it said. Regards to common calls. And then Dylan, there were quite a few files. Raw data files. Bethany, Molly McMichaels, Jack DeCoeur. They were unable to find Jack DeCoeur's. Oh, this device analysis is not located in my analysis. This is wild. Nope, not Jack DeCoeur's either. How were they asking him the question, what about that 17-minute phone call? What about that? This is crazy. So how can Cy Ray give an analysis? It says, Cy Ray also said, in my analysis, I focused on following connections between Mr. Kohberger and any of the decedents or associates of the deceased common call report. I was able to locate sporadic files and reports that indicated a common call report was completed. However, the documentation is extremely poor as to what files were used, the method that was used, and the resulting work product. A common call report is an analysis that is done to see if there are any commonalities between phone numbers interacted with Mr. Kohberger and any numbers interacted with the decedents. In my review, if my review is correct based on the produced data to the defense, the only common number was a U-Haul dealership, which was of no real concern. I reviewed all the common CDRs associated with each of the deceased and Mr. Kohberger's phone from the time point June 23, 2022 to November 13, 2022. In doing so, I am unable to find any common numbers that would connect Mr. Kohberger to the deceased in any way. No connection. Now, they did say, and I'll warn you, they did say he turned off his phone at what time was it? 2:40 something. 240 something. I can't remember word for word, but I do have a screenshot. They do give a legend. There are some new, hold on a minute. Let me just pull this up. There are some new pictures that we haven't seen before. Not much, but they did give us some. I think it was at 245-ish. 245-ish. They did give us some new pictures. They did give us some new diagrams. This is what I said. The light switch was on. No, everyone could have seen Xana laying on the floor. Everyone that went in. The door was open while this occurred, obviously. And what else did it say? Those were two highlights. So if all the lights were on, anyone could have seen Xana laying on the floor, no matter what time, day or night. They should have been able to see all the blood. They go through the cast report. Some of this is just boring, but I am not done with that report. I'm only on like 736 or so. So someone said Ethan had defense wounds. We talked about that in his autopsy. Absolutely had defense wounds, like he fell, was scratched, hit something. You can go through Ethan's autopsy, the video that I did only on Ethan. I haven't really done one on the girls. And you can see that, yes, he did have some bruising on his hands and his shoulder, like he was trying to get away or ran into something. Absolutely. And, you know, at the end of the day, let me ask you a question. We were told that Billy Thompson and Brett Payne as well. Can't wait to, yeah, he's going to be on the Custody Queens on the 16th. Did his mommy write him a note? Yeah, it's too convenient that in these documents, now they say, remember, in the individual forensic documents, they say that there's similar prints, but in these documents that were just released, what they were going to get up and testify, that there were no similarities in these prints, folks. I just about screamed when I saw this. The expert that was going to get up on the stand that said, the expert and, guys, the expert and, I repeat, and her supervisor were going to get up on stage and say that there were no similarities when they already stated it in their individual reports. That should be a fireball. How could they do that after they've already released the individual reports to us? We've already read them. Some people refuse to share that. Some people refuse to share that. All right, so I'm going to add this on the stage, and this is L5 and L6. This is L5 and L6. They're going to get up on the jury stand, the witness stand, and they're going to say that no one matched these and neither did Kohberger's. Who is going to be calling them out? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be you? Who's going to call these people out? They don't want to lose their jobs. I get it. But you can't lie on the witness stand. So 12 and 13 on this report is L5 and L6. Where did they come from? They label them as item 21, a digital copy of the print that was found on the edge of the handle on the inside of the kitchen. That means somebody had to open the door, and the first person left. And then the second, number 13, was a digital copy of the L6, the handle of the exterior kitchen sliding glass door. So the first person ran out, and the next person beyond that shut the sliding glass door. That's my opinion, because we know that they are two different individuals. But there's something I want to show you. I want you to hear it yourself. I want you to see it yourself. This is wild. Let me grab it. Where did I put it? Videos. Where'd you go? Oh, crud. This is wild. All right. Now, I hate to do this to you, but you know the drill. We got to listen to this. Don't yell at me. We've got to throw Dylan's statement up here. All right. Listen to what Miss Dillon says. The transcript's on the right side, but listen to what she says very closely. There's no captions on this except for the right side is the transcript.
That was about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then about a week ago, our door is broken, but me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door is wide open. And like obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else as well.
With the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find the back slider open or anything? Is that usually locked? What's the condition?
I mean, we're pretty good at locking it.
Okay.
I don't think we locked it last night.
I don't think we locked it last night. How freaking convenient. How convenient was not locking the door? Let's listen one more time.
That was about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then about a week ago, our door is broken, but me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door is wide open. And like obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else as well.
With the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find the back slider open or anything? Is that usually locked? What's the condition?
I mean, we're pretty good at locking it.
Okay.
I don't think we locked it last night.
I don't think we locked it last night. Of course she knows. Shoot, I get up in the middle of the night to make sure my door's locked. Come on. We can't be that dumb. The slider lock was up in photos. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? On top of that, Philly girl, when you look at the, hold on, let me grab that. Let me grab the picture. Let me see if I have it. Let me see if I've got L5 again. Do I have it up on the screen? Don't think I do. Let me see if I can get a closer picture of this. Do I? Dang it. Let me see how close I can get with this picture, because this picture shows it was in the down position. So I don't know how accurate these pictures are or when they took them. We have no timestamps. We have no metadata. This could have been taken like weeks after, not just right after the crime. So here is one of them. And this is, does it look like it's in the, let me see if I can take a zoom in here. Does it look like it's in the up position or the down position? And maybe that's why they had to put those chairs. Yeah, this one's not showing anything. Look at this. I don't see anything there. Who knows when this was? Let me see if I can see another angle. Nope. Nope. That is in the unlock position. That is in the unlock position. I wonder, by this picture, is this how they found the door? Somebody had to have touched the outside of the door. One person came and left the bloody prints on the inside. The other person obviously tried to shut the door. They touched the door on the outside with the intention to shut the door. Then she says they usually, the photo taken from the inside of the kitchen. All right, so that's in a different set of pictures. Hold on, let me grab the other set. I think that was set 1. Let me see if I've got those. But she knew it was unlocked. She knew. She just said, and she whispered it under her breath. All right, here's the first set of pictures. Let's see if we can find it. And ISP. This is wild. You think that this was 12/12/25. Let me see if this is the one I need. Let me go to the bathroom. Let me go. All right, these are the ones that were taken. So this one's actually closed. This set of pictures shows it closed. Still see that hole in the window. That was the second set. They never show. Yeah, see, that one is up in the unlocked. That's up in the unlocked position. And Dylan says she don't remember locking that door either after she took Murphy out. Which is, she left all the doors unlocked. I say that's premeditated, but that's me. That's my humble opinion. Let me see. That is when they sealed it. And see, they even put the stools there because they knew it was broken. She probably was told to leave the door open. Maybe. Maybe. Anytime you enter a house without permission, it's called burglary in Idaho. You don't have to necessarily take something out. The ladder drives me nuts too. Yeah. She was probably told to leave the door open. She said she normally locks it. I would be asking these questions. Yeah. So at what point did they put those in the door? They're there too. Obviously somebody rigged those up, probably the cops, because they knew that slider was broken. So obviously the slider was broken. So when I showed you the video, how do we know that this is actually true? How do we know? How do we know what door Dylan was talking about? If that slider was broken and Dylan knew it was broken, of course it couldn't be locked. Oh my God. Think about that for a second. Holy moly, we don't know. We don't know who's telling the truth and we don't know who's telling the lies. This is one effed up case, guys. Let me grab the other photos. Let me just look at those. Jeez. Hold on. I don't know why I've got the ring of death. Hold on. Exactly. She probably knew it was broken. You can't lock something that's broken if you know it's broken. I wonder how many other people knew that back door was broken. Or when did it get broken? Ooh, that's a good one. When did the back slider get broken? Broken to where the cops had to lock it.
That was about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then about a week ago, our door is broken, but me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door is wide open. And like obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else as well.
With the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find the back slider open or anything? Is that usually locked? What's the condition
I
of
mean,
that?
we're pretty good at locking it. I
Okay.
don't think we locked it last night.
Oh, Friday at the party. Did something happen at the party? Why didn't she say that in her interview? And who broke it? How did it get broken? Exactly, beautiful. Now we're thinking. Now when they raided it. Oh. Look at the people that knew the code to get in the front door. What else could it have been? Yeah, I was thinking that there was a raid that happened there that night. Something happened there that night. Something. Somebody had to have broken in there. Something. I mean, listen to the way she says it. No, he was fixing
That was about like
Xana's
2-3 weeks
I believe he was fixing Xana's door or the front door.
ago, and then about a week ago, our door is broken.
Our door. That was supposed to be the front door that was broken that Jeff said he fixed.
But me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door's wide open.
Me, Maddie, and who?
But me, and then about a week ago, our door is broken. But me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door's wide open. And like obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else as well.
Did she say me, Maddie, and Mogan?
That was about like 2-3 weeks ago, and then about a week ago, our door is broken. But me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door's wide open.
Me, Maddie, and someone else. Who was that someone else?
And like obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else
But why would they?
as well.
With the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find the back slider open or anything? Is that usually locked? What's the condition
I
of
mean,
that?
we're pretty good at locking it.
Okay.
I don't think we locked it last night.
They don't think they locked it last night, but if it was broken, per the documents, per the photos I just showed you of the crime scene, then clearly they had to prop it up to just even make sure that the door was locked at a active crime scene, or not an active crime scene, but at a crime scene. Maybe it was Bethany. Yeah, maybe it was. Something's not kosher with that back door, obviously. That seems to be a lot of issues around this back door. Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. Somebody asked. They had to prop these, and that's something that was running around 4chan back in the day. They had to prop those little stools together to keep the slider locked, and then they sealed them, obviously. We need those handwritten notes. Why didn't she lock it if it's usually locked? Same thing she did upstairs with Kaylee's room. She said she took Murphy out at 12:30, but then they said that she didn't get home until 1. Believe me, my timeline is like wild. It is absolutely wild. Is that somebody's registration on the ground? I wonder if they took that out of Kaylee's car. I can't zoom in on that. Gosh, that's going to be hard. Can't even read it. But it looks like somebody's registration. Like when you go to the dealer and they put it in the little pouch for you. Or is that mail? Is that mail? Maybe registration, mail, I don't know. I wonder what that is. Yeah. Oh, just the stools in the runners where the original pictures were sewn always seem odd. What about that? I thought it was a parcel. Is it? Like FedEx? Maybe a FedEx. Dylan always says it could be something else. Evasive. Glad someone is talking about this. What, the sliding door? Or the bloody handprints? All right, so let me go back to the document real quick and we'll skim through this. There's still thousands of pages to go, so I'm just highlighting what I've found so far. So, wow. I mean, this document's wild. So the L5 and the L6 that were bloody on the inside and the outside, someone, in my humble opinion, this is my theory, someone had to go out it and the second person closed it, tried to close it. But if it was broken, why close it? Looks like a zipper pouch. Yeah. All right. So let's just see. Oh, yeah. And none of the prints that they found on, there was a little tiny microscopic amount of DNA of the person who looked inside of the sliding glass door. So somebody put their face against the window or the sliding glass door, and they were only able to get a little bit of tiny evidence, but not enough to see whose it was. And then all these statements, I'm going to cross-reference all these reports because I've got them in my Excel spreadsheet, so it'll be easy to cross-reference with the report numbers. But all this evidence is wild that they say it's not Kohberger's, and even though they have other reports, they basically say, nope, not anything else. Couldn't be anybody's else. L1s don't contain a significant amount of clear ridge detail necessary. So I want to go and look at L6, L5 and 6, okay? Those are the two that an expert gave their opinion. The boss signed off and said there was similar things, right? Similar ridge, similar patterns, similar loops, needed more joint comparison. But they're going to get up on the stand and they're going to say, according to this latent print, let me go back. The latent print from the Keystone, prints had been lifted, latent prints were observed. And my opinion, front door, door itself, edges, doorknobs, stairs, living room. This is what they went through minute by minute. Minute by minute. All right. Then they give their expert opinion, which basically wasn't much. And that was Desert Forensics in Tucson. I'm curious about this forensic company. I've been doing a little bit of homework on them. Okay. And this is one of the experts. I mean, she is like one of the experts, guys, in this area. And this was for the defense. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me see. I had another note, 150 and ISP 506. What was 506? 506. Oh, yeah. Here's all the spelling. Here's all the redactions. Here's all the redactions, folks. They give us a page and then all of the evidence, it's all redacted. Check that out. National security. What was the secrecy? Thousands of pages. I think there's like 30 legitimate pages in here, in my humble opinion. And that's why I said this has got to be just, I'm still going through it. I'm still going through it, guys. So just be patient. You're going to see a little video here and there, just like yesterday's. You know, for a long time, people were saying, oh, the perps got cut in Xana's room. And I'm sure there's tons of DNA in there. And sadly, no, folks, I made this video yesterday. We are starting to get some answers in the Idaho v. Kohberger case. Now, there has been a slew of documents released with unredacted pictures. And the question that I had all this time is whose red stuff was on the trash can in Xana's bedroom? And also, whose red stuff was on Xana's chair? Well, we finally got some of those answers today, and we're going to get a lot more answers as we go through all of these documents that were dropped. But I wanted to share this with you because I'm going to go over these documents in full detail tomorrow on the YT at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is just some highlights from today. And if you've not seen my latest video on the YT live, it is absolutely bizarre in regards to the double dipping that allegedly happened in the IDAHO4 case. Kevin Fixler with the Statesman is still trying to get that information on the financials of who got paid what. $8 million. Who got
that money? Stay tuned. I want to know too. Here's the pictures. Here's the results from some of today's documents. Be well. You know the drill.
So basically, the swabs that are saying on the marker T was the trash can, and then the marker cells that were on the swab stain on the chair, they both tested DNA profile for Xana. And here's a weird, odd one. It says an equivalent of 8,000 human cells. If you go through this and you look and see how they even quote how many human cells were found where, and if they could find 2,908 human cells of DNA for Xana and 2,292 human cells equivalent for Xana and 3,142 for Xana and 2,425 for Xana, why couldn't they go and find the killer or the alleged killers in the other data? If you got a chance to go through some of this, they say that they didn't have enough human cells and they're in like the 2 and the 3,000 area. How could they not go and find that? And the last thing I want to note is in these new documents, why would they look through Jack Showalter's phone? I get that they thought Jack Decor was a suspect. They looked through his. Why would they look through Jack Showalter's if he wasn't a suspect? If they weren't looking to see what was going on his account? This was in 25, folks. March 14th of 2025. Why did they still have him on here? Was Kohberger connected to Jack Showalter? I'm going to call him Johnny Boy from now on. How do you guys, we're just going to refer to him as Johnny Boy because everybody says John, everybody says Jack. People get confused. We're just going to call him Johnny Boy in our nest. And we're going to go from there because I think that is very suspicious for them to be still investigating and going to talk about his phone records on the stand in 2025. What are your thoughts about that, especially after seeing his arrest video we watched yesterday? Yeah, think about how many people lived in this area. 30 KaBars, 30 weapons, 30 knives in this general vicinity of this area. I'm going to go. Somebody said, I got a text. Somebody said that he got off on the charge he was arrested for in Boise that we watched yesterday. Let me do a live dig real quick and let me just see. I think he didn't get off. I think he got reprimanded and he did have to attend some classes, but he didn't get any jail time. And let me just check this out. All right, so let's just see. We'll see live just for giggles, for accuracy and facts. How about that one? John Showalter. All right, he's had an infraction in 17. Let's see what that was. Driving, speeding, no biggie. And then in 18, he had a criminal arrest. Driving under the influence, a misdemeanor. He pled not guilty. They found him guilty. Driving under the influence and under 21, folks. Eeks. All right. And he had to pay $1,200. He was put on probation, and it was active until March 30th of 2018. Let's see what happened. Oh, he didn't get testing. Probable cause, wanted a jury. Asked for discovery, had a hearing. Asked for more discovery. Pretrial. They had 1 hearing, 2 hearings, 3 hearings. Total he paid was $1,202.05. And let's just see, his attorney was Deborah Ann Groberg. Deborah Ann Groberg. Hold on. Let's see who she's with. Nevin, Benjamin, and McKay, LLP. Is that Idaho? Yep. Boise attorneys. Nevin, McKay. We're just going to do a live dig while we're here. A partner at Nevin, Benjamin, and McKay, LLP. University of Idaho teaching assistant. Law Public Library. Juris Doctor, Boise State. Idaho Trial Lawyer Association. Interesting. All right. And let's go back to his record. Let's see what else is going on here. An infraction, probably speeding again. No. What? Infraction. In 2018, 7 months after John Rogers Showalter, aka John Showalter, same attorney, retained the same attorney, drinking under 21 infraction. Well, at least he wasn't driving. Again, 487, that was, court trial was vacated, and they found him guilty. All right. Let's see what else. In 20, there's another infraction. Speeding, no biggie. Paid a $90 ticket. And probably some insurance. And 24, this was the actual one we saw yesterday, his arrest. I found a lawsuit he filed for retaliation at work. All right, hold on. We'll get to that. I saw one of those. I thought that was his dad's. So Showalter, same attorney for all his cases, folks. That must be the family attorney. You know what? Hold on a minute. I'm going to check something out in a minute. Disturbing the peace, that's what he was arrested for. Dismissed on a motion of a prosecutor. It was dismissed. But I thought they made him go to, yeah, he did. He had comment. He went to conditioned DM 40 hours of PS and TE classes. All right. So he did have to go to classes. Thinking errors classes, right? Conditional DM plus 40 hours. Conditional BM. He had to do something. So he probably completed that, and then the district attorney dropped it. Oh, Johnny boy. I hope those classes were good. So online, he went online to thinking errors in classes. Behavior modification classes. Cognitive behavior classes. Cognitive thinking. Well, now we know what happened. Dismissed by the actual judge because the prosecutor probably said, you've got to go to these classes. And he did. So I want to see this. I saw that other case, but I thought maybe it was his dad. It was against St. Luke's, wasn't it? Retaliation. That's what I thought. Now I'm going to look up this attorney and let's see who she's represented for. All right. Let's just see. This might have a lot of cases under it. Let's just see. Yep. All right. Let's just go through 26. Let's see who she's represented. Davenport, Dennis, Colpage. Martinez, Williams. No. It seems to be the family attorney. Alleged. Schumann, Sweet, Skaggs, Myers, Dills. Showalter 24. I think that's the same one. So no, he's not had any fractions. I don't see anything else. I don't see anything else that they've been represented for since then. Let me see. Nope. I mean, you can go in here and see any attorney's cases that they have. I don't see anything else on that side. So the one that I found was on the Supreme Court side. Wasn't that a Supreme Court one? Showalter and St. Luke's. That's the only one I saw. Let me just pull it up. All right, St. Luke's malpractice. Where is it? No, it was something about. Where is it? Supreme Court, isn't it? I think it is. Something about retaliatory. Who is it? Larry Showalter. Hold on. Let me use this first name. Supreme Court of Idaho. Where is it? I saw it not too long ago. Dang it. Where is it? I thought I saved it. I didn't save it, but there is one on file. Something about, oh, here it is. Complaint. Here it is. I think it's this one. Case filing. No, that's Texas. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? There was one, Sherry Showalter. There's another one. I know I saw the case. This is Timbers in Deerbrook. Hold on. There was one in 2000 in Texas. Remember, didn't they move from Texas to Idaho? There's a couple of them then. Yeah, he had in his back pocket. We watched that yesterday. Robert Showalter. No. Johnny Boy has a longer. Oh, no, his dad's Larry. And that's all public record, folks. So, yeah, if you guys want to do a live dig, pop it down below. I've got about 15 minutes. If you want to talk about something that has been on your mind and you want to see any results from it, we can go ahead and do a live dig for a few minutes. If there's something in the case that you saw from the new reports, remember, I haven't gotten through all of them. There is a lot. Most of these basic, most of these basic reports were the same ones that they released before and just giving updates. But actually, like I said, the meat and potatoes. Here's one from, let me just pull this up. I don't want to talk about that yet. I'm going to do a live tomorrow on this Freedom Friday. I won't do that one. I've got so much to talk about. It's crazy. And I don't want to burn myself out. I told you guys I'm like on the verge. I'm trying to not get too sick. Let me share this screen. There was a redacted motion in limine about phone records with DM and BF. That was out. It was redacted. It was sealed for a little while, then it's redacted. And let me just download this one because this is the only one I didn't download. Give me 1 second. This is when they were trying to argue if they were victims or if, obviously the excited utterance called. Yeah, some of them have been revised or redacted. Hold on, let me save this. Some of the names were crossed out. Now they're not crossed out anymore. Oh, Lord, I'm wasting your time. You're not wasting my time. Robert Showalter. I don't know if they're related. I know Larry D is his dad. This one is, this one isn't as interesting as the one that the 1,000-page document I'm in the middle of. So, I think I'm going to put this in my Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to look for more patterns because this one, the redacted, hold on a minute. That's wild. Phoenix, if you need to take a break, please do so. I've got water right here too. Yeah, I might take tomorrow will be a shorter stream, but I'll take the weekend off like I usually do. It's all about balance. All about balance. Let me see. Let me pull this one up and let me see what this one was. There's a few of them. That one we went over. Oh gosh, this. Have you guys gone in any detail over this 63-page? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Jenna, Dylan, come over. Do you guys need me to come get you? It's crazy at 11:51. And that's when we see, oh, that's something I wanted to share with you. You guys, I'll put some of these up on Justice for All. But here's the deal. I wanted to go over this real quick with you guys. Shoot, I totally forgot. Okay. It's been on my mind. It's on my list. And I'm going to go to Law and Crime. Hold on, let me pull it up. Crap, I thought I had it saved. Bookmarked at least. Where are you? All right. Whew. You guys. Oh, I should have shared this last week. Hold on. When it was on my mind. Okay, let me pull this up. Where are you at? Okay, body cam. All right. I know we've seen this.
Downstairs, and I kept calling her name and she wouldn't answer.
Okay. Something I noticed over here, and I'm sure you guys noticed it too. We know that Dylan is not wearing shoes, right? Drop a 1. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a fireball. Drop a 1. You notice that Dylan is not wearing shoes. Okay. Drop a 1. We know that Dylan's not wearing shoes. If I speed it up, she's standing on the mat. They give her it because a blanket on the ground. For anybody new that's digging into the IDAHO4 case and is here, thank you for coming in. So she's standing outside giving her statement of what happened that early morning. And Dylan has no shoes on. The cop hands her a mat to stand on.
I would like a blanket right now. It's temporary. Would anybody like one for your feet to stand on?
For your feet.
Okay. I'll let you. Thanks, man.
She has no shoes.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, if that animal shows up, that'd be great to grab some blankets.
Yeah, Dylan, what happened to your shoes? And I'm going to go back in the beginning. Now that we all are on the same page, she doesn't have any shoes. When did Bethany have time to put on shoes? Don't you think Bethany's standing in this tartan plaid blue and green pants with sandals that you actually have to, it looks like you have to, I don't know if they're slide on or strap on, and a blue shirt. She's standing right here next to her friend Jenna. Speaking of phone records, when did she have time to put on sandals but didn't? Dylan didn't if they were both together. That's because, in my opinion, remember, on another body cam, Bethany just pulled up with Jenna and got out of the car and stood all the way to the other side of the street. So how can we see the 911 call that was released? He's on it, on his way there. They've got Bethany's phone. He's walking over. Remember the 911 call? He's walking over. There's a group of people out there. But where's Bethany? Bethany's across the street, and that's the car that barely parks there.
Where's she at?
Dylan. It's
Yep,
right
where's she
there.
at? Where's she at?
Who's on the phone? Emily? Or is it Josie? I can't tell who's on the phone. Is it Emily? Bethany is across the street, and I'll even show you. Go to Connor's repository, guys. Connor on YouTube. He's got the whole repository, and I'll show you, and you guys can go over there and see all his wonderful videos. Remember to tell him I sent you there. Okay, so you can see on this other body cam, who was it that ran up there real quick? Is it Snyder? Snyder arrives, runs up there. I think it is. Hold on, let me pull his body cam. Or is it House? Snyder or House? Not Rosinski. Oh, where are you at? Morris. It wasn't Morris. That's too late. I don't think it was Warner. And it wasn't House. Whose was it? He's running up there. It was early. Hold on. Maybe it was Warner. Warner part 1. He gets the call. Nope, that's not it. It's part 2. It's backwards. He gets the call. He runs up there. There's Bethany's car. Okay? There's Bethany's car. This is almost 2 hours later. But this is part 3. So let me go back one. Where is Snyder? Part 2. I think they were backwards. Nope, that's too late. Hold on, I got to get closer to the 11. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. All right, hold on with me, folks. We're going to find it. That's 12. That's too late. Where is this body cam? That's Gunderson. It's right on the arrival. He walks up there, the car. Where you at? Is it Warner? Maybe it's Warner. Yeah, he runs out there, parks. Okay. This is close enough. Let me make it larger. Here we go. See Bethany and Jenna standing across the street? They just pulled up and ran over there. Okay. That car was just parked. It wasn't there before on the other body cam. They're standing across the street away from everyone else. The 911 call has just ended, folks. She's got shoes on. Noons. Yeah, noons. They're still standing outside. Noons just went inside. He avoids them on camera.
Upstairs. Okay.
Upstairs to the right. Who yelled that?
Slow down.
Slow down, because this guy is weird. Allegedly. He's already dropped the knife on the table. He's got his Chris Watts arms up in the air. And he's going to start doing the Harlem Shuffle, right? What you got there in your pocket? Are those bloody chips? Is that the bloody chip bag? Let me see. Oh, you can't zoom in. Are those Bethany's chips? And looks like there's a cell phone over there in the window. Is that what Gunderson picks up?
Need to find them.
What is that? A recorder? A wallet. It looks like a wallet. Does that look like a wallet to you guys?
Yeah, the roommates called me this morning to come check because they thought they saw someone in here last night and they went into their rooms. I came over when they called and I opened the door and I saw that.
Exactly. How did she call?
Let's go ahead and step downstairs here. Is there anybody else upstairs or anybody else?
I don't know.
Here? Don't touch anything. Don't touch it.
I grabbed that knife in the kitchen because
He grabbed that knife in the kitchen? What a freaking liar. It was on the ground. This guy has always been number one on my top list of sus, especially when the forensic evidence shows there are similar patterns of his fingerprints that match allegedly the sliding back door. Guys, read the docs. They tell the story. Watch the video. It tells the story. Watch it.
when I went in there, I didn't know if there was someone in there.
I didn't know there was anything in there. I didn't know. But yet, none of your pants are bloody. None of your hands are bloody because you checked 100% Xana's pulse, like on the phone that you said.
Okay.
Does he have anything on his fingers, guys?
Grabbed him just to make sure.
You got your ID with you?
No, I can tell you my name.
Okay.
Does he have anything on his fingers? I'm going to go back in slow motion. I want to see if he does. Let's put this rumor to rest. Is he telling the truth? Does he have blood on his fingers? I'm going to turn this off. Does it look like he has blood on his fingers? Oh my God. Does he? It looks like he's holding his hands like he has something on him. Have we been wrong the entire time? Does he? Have they blurred that out too? He would have something on his knees. Oh my God, you guys. He did have blood on him. That's why they put the freaking Wallace and Gromit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is that why he put the Wallace? They put the Wallace and Gromit hands on him when he opens his hands for the cop? Maybe that's why he wouldn't put his hands. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dried? Something on his hands. He won't touch his pants. Holy cow. He does. He had a knife and blood on his hands. Sticky. He closes it. He's trying not to get it anywhere. Does he or doesn't he? Let's take a poll. 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. He's wiping them on the ground, says tattoo girl, gal. Let's see. Oh, come on, go back. I don't think we get to see any more of him from the clips. They go inside and he comes back outside. Then he has his hands in the pocket. What did he do while they were gone? I know the other guy's picking up the underwear in the street on this body cam. I know Snyder's out there picking up the underwear in the street. Now you're going to see Hunter on the side, and he's got his hands in his pocket now. He had his fist on the ground. Now he's got him in his pocket. This is where he asked to see his hands. And they look like Wallace and Gromit hands. Like they put mittens on him or something. Didn't he check the pulse? Well, he said he did. They're either dumb or instructed not to touch Hunter. Yeah, they do. They look like they blur him out. What's he looking at? What car did Snyder get out of? I don't know his, I'll go back to the body cam. Come on, show your hands. He wants him to see his hands. Here it comes.
99. May have to write out. License Idaho, correct? Okay. Hey, firm. You still haven't ID'd the girls?
Okay, I'm gonna start IDing on them.
Perfect. Who do you know that lives here? All of
The
them?
girl in the middle with the green pants, long pants, and the blonde girl behind her.
Live here?
They live here. And then
Are those
the
other
girl,
girls just neighbors or?
yeah, the girl in the blue shirts and the girl in the orange sweatshirt live with me over
Okay.
there. And then the guy in the gray sweatshirt just lives on campus.
Okay.
And then those two girls live here, and then that girl in her room is there, and there should be two more girls. I don't know what was going
Okay.
out there, but there's two more girls, and then one lives right there as well.
Okay. One lives here. I haven't seen anybody in here. There's a locked door back here. What do you know what that leads to?
Which door? I don't know.
It's like a key access
I
or a
don't
code
know.
access.
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Residence is clear.
We cleared it, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back so you guys can see him coming down the stairs one last time.
In the door, and I saw that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and step downstairs.
He doesn't have anything on his knees.
Here. Is there anybody else upstairs or anybody else?
I don't know.
Here? Don't touch anything. Don't touch it.
I grabbed that knife in the kitchen because when I went in there, I didn't know if there was something in there. But
Okay.
I just grabbed it just to make sure.
You got your ID with you?
No, I can tell you my name.
Okay. Just sit right here. Nobody else inside?
So they blur it out.
Is there anyone else inside?
I don't know. They should. If they were in there, they're upstairs.
Stay here. Stay here.
Check upstairs.
1 second.
There's Bethany coming over. She's got shoes on. Then they leave.
You want to go ahead and have a seat over here? 1 second. 1 second. Let's take a half step outside. Let's go outside.
Let me go back and play it a little slower because I'm going to grab a screenshot when he's coming down the stairs.
In here.
Come on. Yeah, it looked like maybe he didn't, his sleeves didn't have blood either. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna do a filter on his hands. Let me see. It's right when he turns around. Hold on. He's got his like thumbs and like he's got his closed fist above his hands. He's got something all over his hands. God, that's hard to see. Let me see if I can get a good screenshot of this one. Let me try to put it in a filter real quick. Let me see if this will work. I don't know if we're going to get anything, but we'll definitely try it. Hold on, I'll put this up on the screen so you guys can see it. Let's see if I can make this larger. Let me try to put a filter on it. Let me see if I can lighten it too. Just see. Let me see if I can do that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Let me go lighter. He's got something on his fingers. I think so. Let me see if I can do this. All right, let's see if I can get it a little lighter. Maybe. I think they filtered it so it looks darker than normal. If I did black and white, it's not going to give me. Yeah, I don't think it's going to give me. Look at the tips. He had to have had something on his hand. Maybe, no, Blue Star would be after the fact. They blurred it and it looks like a shadow. Could be. Check when he was pointing to the knife on the table. Well, he had a lot of, let me see. Let me see if I could make the, oh shoot, I can't do texture in there. I wonder if I can do, I don't know if it's going to give me that option. Hold on. Yeah, it just looks darker. They might have put something on top of this, so a blurry type of tool. Obviously they did, because when you look at the Wallace and Gromit hands, they totally scrub it out. So they had to have put something on there. And yes. Something. It might be the shadow, but there would be a shadow over here. There's only a little shadow. Blue Star, you guys are funny. All right. Yeah, so they've blurred. I mean, they've redacted it so much. Who knows? But the way he's holding his hands make me think that, yeah, something is on him. Ah, that was a good picture in the light. Hold on. Right when he turns around. Right here. Ah, dang it. 420. 420. They wouldn't blur his hands if they were clean. You got it. Absolutely. You are the GOAT today. You win.
You are the greatest of all time. The GOAT.
Yeah, if you didn't have anything to blur. Right. I wouldn't be holding my hands if there wasn't anything. Right? I wouldn't be holding my hands at all like that. I mean, have you guys ever baked or had sourdough on your hands? That's kind of how you hold your hands. You don't want to get the sourdough down the sink. You got to get your paper towel. You don't want to get a mess anywhere. Trust me. Well, I don't know if I should say trust me, but I think there is something on his hands and he is so worried about it. He had to have gone in there with Xana. So obviously we know he did, but we don't know how much or what. That's interesting. Never caught that before. He's got to have something on his hands. He won't put him in his pocket until the cop leaves and he must go wipe it off or something. He has to. All right, you guys, I enjoyed the time spent with you. Boy, that was a live dig. Wow. Now he's putting them in his hands. Did he go and wash them off, or did he go somewhere? Or the way he was holding his hands, did they clip it and cut it? And wow, he must have wiped him because now he's got his hands in his pocket. Absolutely. I agree. Y'all take care. You have been a fantastic crowd today. Wonderful live stream. I'll be back here tomorrow, Freedom Friday. Don't forget. We appreciate you all being here. Take care. And you know the drill.
Yeah, this is my road. Let it roll. Pack my dreams in a beat up leather case. Left the dust of that suffocating place. They said a girl like me should stay in line, but I'd rather lose their map than lose my mind. Tune the radio to a station playing wild and free. Windows down, smelling like the pine trees. 500 miles and I'm just getting started. Say goodbye to the heavy-hearted. Oh, nobody's holding the reins tonight. I'm chasing the edge of the morning light. This is my highway, my open sky. I've got the wings and I'm ready to fly. No yellow lines can tie me down. I'm leaving my tracks all over this town. Freedom, freedom, yeah. Now they call me an outlaw, call me a breeze, shaking the leaves right off of the trees. Ain't no speed limits on the choices I make, with every single risk that I happily take. Got a heart like an engine, loud and true, writing my own rules. Nothing brand new, just an old soul singing with the modern beat, dusting off the pavement under my feet. This is my highway, my open sky. I've got the wind, can tie me down. I'm leaving my tracks all over this town. Freedom, freedom, yeah, ooh, yeah. And if I get lost in the dark of the night, I know my own stars will show me the light. No more shadows to cover my face. I'm running my pace, I'm winning my race. Freedom, yeah, just let it roll.